Happening now, another person has died of COVID-19 in Cattaraugus County. What we know coming up. Plus, hear how Jamestown High School will conduct in-person education starting on Monday.
Well, we've had a few rain showers across the area this morning, and that will continue throughout parts of the afternoon. Plus, next week looking mainly dry. We'll talk about it in detail next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Friday. I'm Justin Gould. The 31st COVID-19 related death has been reported in Cattaraugus County. It's the fourth just this week. The Cattaraugus County Health Department announced late last night a 75-year-old man living in the northwest part of the county developed respiratory failure and was unable to overcome the illness. Health leaders also reported 62 new cases of the virus, with 387 active. The county's 7-day average infection rate also increased to 6.8%, with 20 people hospitalized. Chautauqua County, meanwhile, reported 32 new cases of the virus yesterday, with a daily positivity rate of 4.2%. Well, some students enrolled at Jamestown High School will be returning to in-person instruction for the first time since schools moved to remote learning back in March. JHS interim principal Dana Williams this week discussed the school's plan to keep students safe when they return to in-person classes on Monday. He says staff will check each student's temperature when they first enter the building, and everyone will be required to wear a face mask and practice social distancing. Furthermore, class sizes will be much smaller than in years past, with students attending in 2 cohorts, with the first red cohort attending class in person on Monday morning and the green on Tuesday morning. Now, in the end, the principal says the move is good for students who may have been struggling with online learning.
Some kids just don't respond really well to that. Some kids need this in-person instruction. We want to make sure we're giving all kids that need that the opportunity to come into the school to benefit from that.
Now then, both cohort groups will continue virtual learning until the end of the week on December 14th, when the red cohort will attend in the mornings on Monday and Wednesday, and the green will attend on Tuesday and Thursday.
We've adjusted some of our traffic patterns around the building. It's a big building, because again, we want to avoid a lot of the, close personal contact. Make people feel secure. We have one-way stairways. We've kind of shut off temporarily some of the areas where kids tend to congregate.
Now, all afternoon and Fridays will continue as scheduled for remote learning for all 10th through 12th graders. 9th graders will continue with their normal schedule. Williams says if the reopening runs smoothly, the school will likely continue in-person learning into the new year. For more on their plan, visit jpsny.org/JHS. Well, President-elect Joe Biden says the coronavirus pandemic is dominating his transition to the White House, and his approach to the pandemic will be different from the way that President Trump has dealt with the deadly disease. Our John Lawrence explains.
After President-elect Joe Biden takes office, he will call on Americans to help slow the spread of COVID-19.
I'm going to ask the public for 100 days to mask. Just 100 days to mask. Not forever, 100 days. And I think we'll see a significant reduction.
Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris say they'll get a COVID-19 vaccination once one is approved and deemed safe. And they want frontline workers, like doctors and nurses, to get vaccines as well.
The president-elect and I talk about this all the time, that the people who need it most are going to be a priority.
On Thursday, more than 100,000 people in the U.S. were listed as hospitalized with the virus, according to the COVID Tracking Project. California, in the middle of a record surge of cases and hospitalizations, is pulling an emergency brake with regional stay-at-home orders.
The bottom line is, if we don't act now, our hospital system will be overwhelmed. If we don't act now, we'll continue to see a death rate climb.
Health officials repeated calls for Americans to curb travel and follow safety guidelines in the coming months.
Pandemic fatigue is real, and we all cannot wait until this is over. And the end is not that far away, but we have to get through this winter, because what lies ahead for the next few months, it's actually our worst case scenario.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
John, thank you. The U.S. has surpassed the 14 million mark of known COVID-19 cases. That, according to Johns Hopkins University. The data shows it took 248 days to reach 7 million cases and only 69 days for the other 7 million. Well, the archive of world-renowned naturalist Roger Tory Peterson was minimally impacted by fire and subsequent water damage at the institute that's established to preserve his work. The chief executive officer of the Roger Tory Peterson Institute in Jamestown says he was first alerted something was wrong mid-yesterday morning as the fire alarm sounded at the center's Curtis Street location. Now, at the time, Arthur Pearson says 3 staff members and a maintenance person were in the building and evacuated as Jamestown fire crews rushed to the scene to investigate smoke coming from the second-floor archive space where a collection of books, art, and film were on display. Now, Pearson says the fire was discovered in the attic above that exhibit, with the fire suppression system stopping flames before immense damage could be done.
Anything that might have got a little bit water on it now is being dried, so we'll do a complete assessment over the next couple of weeks, but early indications are that we're in terrific shape.
Now, no structural damage was identified. However, Pearson says much of the museum's store was damaged by water from that sprinkler system. He says over the next few days, crews will work to clean the facility and repair some drywall damage. The Jamestown Fire Department has yet to release a cause of the blaze. The Institute hopes to reopen to visitors sometime next week. Well, we thank you for joining us for WNY News Now on this Friday, as many people are gearing up for the Jamestown Christmas Parade in reverse, which will be taking place tonight. So hopefully we'll see you and your family stroll by our offices here on 3rd and Pine Street in downtown Jamestown. We can't wait to really see what the community has to put on display and how many people will be coming out in their vehicles for that. Good to see Narda. Good to see Sydney, Vicky, John, Rod, Nicole, Poppy, and Joanne. Happy Friday to all of you. Great to have Sharon, Wendy, Diane, Lori, and Joseph here as well. We appreciate you tuning in. Well, now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's standing by live with a first look at our weather forecast. And Dakota, I see a little bit of green going on behind you. I hope that doesn't impact the parade tonight.
Oh, well, we've got a little bit of rain and snow showers in the forecast for parts of the afternoon, but this has been what's been rolling across the southern tier this morning. We've had a few light rain showers, no big deal. Again, not putting down anything in the way of rainfall, really. And these are going to transition with a few wet snowflakes later on, and then overnight tonight as a little bit of colder air works in with a cold front moving in overnight. 1 inch of snow right now on the ground at the airport. We have 4 inches of snow for the month. That's a little more than, that's actually a little bit less than a half of where the normal snowfall total for the month should be. 6.5 inches for the season. That's down 4.5 inches right now for the season. 39 was the high yesterday. That's right around where we should be for this time of the year. 33 is where we started the day, and 73 and 2 below zero are the record highs and lows at the Jamestown airport. Right now, we're perched at 38 degrees with overcast skies at the airport. This is still going to be an issue with that south wind to 16 and the wind gust at 22. So it's not going to be feeling a little bit milder today. Look at what it does to the wind chill down to 29. So the wind chill is going to be hanging out in the upper 20s, lower 30s throughout the day. And yeah, I mean, it kind of looks like nighttime, doesn't it? With the sun kind of peeking behind the clouds there. Yeah, but it's actually not. The sunset doesn't come up until 4:45. So it's convenient for you. 37 to 45 through the afternoon today. Lots of clouds, rain and snow shower early. Then there'll be another chance later on in the day. But there's going to be a pretty nice break throughout the afternoon. And still breezy with that wind gust possibly over 30 miles an hour at times. Now tomorrow we have just a small chance for a few snowflakes, and then the second half of the weekend it's going to be cold and temperatures not really rebounding too much. We'll talk about it in just a few. Justin.
All righty, Dakota. Thank you. Well, State Senator George Borrello, Assemblyman Joe Giglio, and officials from First Light Fiber say they have a plan to expand broadband access across Allegheny, Cattaraugus, and Chautauqua counties. Borrello was one of the speakers at a press conference yesterday to highlight the plan. He says that broadband access was a critical issue even before the COVID-19 pandemic began.
Now it is truly an emergency because we look around at our schools that have been shut down, that they are going back to fully remote learning. We look at people that have never worked from home before in their lives that are now having to work from home, forced to be in work from home. And broadband is as important and as essential as anything else, water, sewer, electricity. And unfortunately, the state of New York in particular does not treat broadband like an essential utility like those others.
Now, officials say they discovered that First Light Fiber owns a majority of the fiber optic line on the Southern Tier fiber backbone that could fast-track their efforts. Following discussions with representatives, officials add that the company pledged to work with locals and regional broadband providers to expand access to that line. Borrello says several local governments and schools are already using the 115-mile fiber optic line that runs from Whitesville in Allegheny County to the city of Jamestown. Well, members of the Problem Solvers Caucus stood together yesterday to fight for what Congressman Tom Reed says is their common sense bipartisan COVID-19 emergency relief package. Reed says the legislation is being supported by a rapidly growing group of senators on both sides of the aisle, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce and others, to help American families and the workforce during the crisis. Leaders in both parties have stated support for the Problem Solvers Caucus framework as the basis for an immediate bipartisan legislation. Reed, the Republican co-chair of that caucus, says that Congress needs to stop playing games and start working to provide federal aid that communities deserve. Reed and other caucus members say they aren't going home until a package is passed. Well, straight ahead here, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo gives us a preview of what the COVID-19 vaccine will look like. And later, a nursing home has launched an online gift store for the holidays. That and more as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo gave a preview of how Pfizer will ship its COVID-19 vaccine during a briefing in Albany yesterday. The governor says that distribution of the vaccine will happen in the next couple of weeks, and New York State will be very aggressive in making it available to residents. Now, during the briefing, Cuomo showed the public what the packaging for the vaccine would look like. He says that once the vial would have one vial would have 5 doses in it. One tray can hold up to 195 of those vials, which is about 975 doses in each tray. Now, the whole package holds around 5 trays, and if I did my math right, it's roughly 5,000 doses.
We're not going to get to the general population for a while, but you will start with for nursing home distribution. So you'll have parents asking their family, what do you think? Should I take it or not? You'll have healthcare staff having to decide whether or not they take it. And people should start focusing on it because it's real and it's here.
Cuomo says that the vaccine isn't really effective until after a second dose is complete. He also gave an update on the state's numbers across New York. He says the state as a whole has a 7-day average of 4.12% positivity rate and is doing better than almost every single state in the nation. We'll move over Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman. 2020 brings new superheroes, and instead of capes, they're wearing scrubs. That's right, we're talking about nurses. Marvel Comics has teamed up with Allegheny Health Network in Pennsylvania to create a new comic book that celebrates real-life care heroes. It's called the True Nurses Stories comic book and focuses on stories of actual nurses who work near Pittsburgh and everything they've done to help keep us safe during the pandemic. The project was unveiled yesterday, and it was a complete surprise to the nurses featured. Well, a local nursing home chain has launched an online website where families and community members alike can purchase gifts for residents living in their facilities. Heritage Ministries President and CEO Lisa Haglund tells us the COVID-19 pandemic continues to force many time-honored traditions and heartwarming gatherings to change, including annual gift exchanges between residents and their families. That's why her group launched Heritage Holiday Shop to help keep the tradition alive.
And you should see the reaction. It's amazing. And I mean, there's tears. Often, Justin, they feel forgotten. They feel abandoned. And getting a tiny little heritage stuffed animal or a fleece blanket, every time they touch it, will make them feel loved and remembered.
The online store enables families and community members to purchase presents for their loved ones and have them gift wrapped and delivered free of charge to Heritage residents on Christmas. Now, items like a coffee tumbler, fleece blanket, and even a companion plush cat are available. To check out the full online store, visit heritage1886.org/store. Well, Love Elementary School students recently received some special treats from a retired educator who now lives in New Mexico. Jamestown Public School officials say each child in their school received a hand-knit scarf and goodie bags with treats from Susan Colquitt. Known as Grandma Susie, she only asks that students do something nice for others that requires a little of their time during the holidays. She calls it paying it forward. She also included a PowerPoint presentation and an upbeat positive letter to everyone in the class. Officials say Colquitt knitted a total of 219 scarves for the students. Certainly amazing to see the love coming all the way from the West Coast. Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. On this Friday, hopefully you're having a great Friday out there. TGIF to you and yours. Good to see Jody, Crystal, Jeff, Debbie, Chuck, and Dan. Thanks so much for tuning in on the broadcast here. And it's always great to see Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's in the First Defense Weather Center. And Dakota, it's so awesome to see this love that comes all over the country. And I think that's the one cool thing about living here in Chautauqua County is that even if someone does move away, whether they're a snowbird, and maybe with COVID it's different, but in a typical year they'd go somewhere else, but they're always thinking and giving back here locally. It's incredible.
Right. And I mean, I mean, you know, I'm a student of Love Elementary. I went there for 3rd and 4th grade. I actually transitioned into Jamestown schools in 3rd grade because when I first started school, we lived outside of the city. So I went to Southwestern for kindergarten through 2nd, not the new elementary school, the old Celeron building on Dunham Avenue, which
I did see you, you shared a post of that where you were kind of reminiscing here.
Yes. Actually, because both the Celeron and Lakewood schools closed at the end of the 2002-2003 school year. And at the end of the year, they gave the families T-shirts and a little Christmas ornament of the school. And we still have that.
Yeah, that's
way
amazing.
off topic, but anyway.
No, I think it's cool to see. And that's the connection that a lot of people have, you know, is that we have similar history. And I think that's one of the great things that brings us together. So. And a lot of people always talking too about the weather, especially here in Western New York, because things get kind of crazy.
It's a smorgasbord.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's a smorgasbord of weather. That's why it's great living here and great forecasting here, because we get everything under the sun. And speaking of under the sun, how about the moon? Ow! But please do it safely. If you walked out there last night, you probably saw that mystical moon kind of hiding behind some of the clouds. I took this picture on Fluvanna Avenue coming in from Bemis Point. And boy, this was a great shot to see. And I don't know how people take wonderful moon shots on their phone. I don't know how they do it. I have an iPhone 11. And I don't know. I don't know how people do it. I'm not a photographer. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Amy because, I mean, you know, Justin, I mean, you know, your mom is an awesome photographer. Maybe I'll ask Amy. So, Amy, if you're watching, drop in the comments, how do you take moon pictures on a phone and make them look good? I don't know. My local WX is how you send us your weather pictures on Facebook and Twitter. 38 here in town, 42 Mayville, 43 Fredonia. Look at you, Harbor Creek. 44, 39 in Randolph, and 36 in Olean. And temperature You're not going to budge too much past this, but some spots may end up in the lower 40s throughout the day. And the cold air is going to be coming back. Once again, look at Sunday. Our forecast is 30. Some spots in the colder pockets may stay in the upper 20s all day. And by the time we go into next week, temperatures are going to be slowly climbing up again. And this is typical when we have a La Nina winter. We get these shots of cold air and then we start warming up again, cold and warm. That's the way most La Nina winters go. Not saying this is the way this one is going to go. We just don't know. But typical La Nina winters, that's how it goes. Storm spotter training also comes up Monday at 7 o'clock. And this is your final chance this year to become a trained storm spotter. This is not the springtime session where they focus on severe thunderstorms and that kind of stuff. This is going to be a winter session talking about winter storms, lake effect snow, and how to properly measure snow. We need more spotters, and it's free to sign up, free to register. Weather.gov/BUF/Skywarn. Fun for the whole family. 8 to 88 can get trained, and we highly recommend that. So here's the cold front that's going to be moving through overnight. This is what's going to usher in the colder air for the weekend and actually trigger off a few lake effect potato flakes coming off Lake Erie. But the bigger story is this storm system right down here, low pressure area over Alabama, sweet home Alabama. This thing is going to be riding across the Ohio River Valley and moving along the East Coast, and it's likely to produce a big time snow event for portions of New England. Look at this. This is the snow projections coming off the in-house computer model, and look at this. Some spots up in New England may see 2 feet of snow over the weekend. So darn the luck, we're missing out on that. But if you don't like the snow, great. If you want the snow, sorry. Here we go with Future Scan locally in. You can see a few rain and snow showers through the day. It's those who cares kind of thing. It's not going to produce any problems. That's going to continue throughout the night. Eventually, it'll eventually shift over to all snow overnight, about less than an inch of accumulation. There are a few scattered snow showers tomorrow, and with a north to northwest wind coming off Lake Erie, some of that may actually be lake effect potato flakes. And again, no accumulation out of that, no big deal. 39 at 2 o'clock today, and just expect lots of clouds around, maybe a few rain showers. 36 at 6, and by the time we head to 10 o'clock tonight, the rain and snow showers will continue, but will later transition over to all snow overnight. Now, the next 7 days of your life, brought to you by 42 degrees and sunny. 33 tomorrow, just a few lake effect potato flakes, no problem there. Again, 30 on Sunday, a few snowflakes. Again, no accumulation expected there. Monday, crisp and cool at freezing. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday should be mainly dry. And look at those temperatures going up again. By next Thursday, we'll likely be in the lower 40s. Now, with the pet of the week, here's Jay Gould.
All right, Dakota, thank you. We'll check in live with the Chautauqua County Humane Society right after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
The mother of a special education student at Maple Grove High School is speaking out.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
And Lake Erie is covered in less than 1% of ice as this winter season has entered its peak.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
Move over.
When you see signs,
Lights.
Vests.
please give us some room.
Slow down.
Slow down and move over.
When you need help,
It's our job
to help you,
to save you.
despite the danger.
This danger.
This danger is real. Do your part.
Please
Slow down. Slow down. And move over.
move over.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Hey, welcome back to WNY News Now. In an effort to help animals find their forever home, we're partnered with the Chautauqua County Humane Society and my favorite segment, the Pet of the Week. Joining us live is Amanda Sublett, who's standing by with a new furry friend. Happy Friday, Amanda.
Hi, Justin. How are you?
Good, good. I am so excited for the parade in reverse tonight. But before we get to that, I see you have a new furry friend who's looking for a good home.
I do. This is Mooney. He's about 5 years old. Can't tell. He's pretty active. He does love to play, but he's also a great cuddler. He is going to be good with kids, with cats, with other dogs. It's just a matter of making sure we have the right home for him. He does love to go for walks. Can we take him out?
Sure.
Come on, Mooney. Let him run around a little bit. He's got a lot of energy. He does like to play. Oh. Pretty easygoing guy.
Does he know the W word, Amanda? If you say it, does he get a little excited?
He doesn't. It's more about seeing that leash. He knows that means it's go time.
It's one or the other. I tell you, my mother's dogs, you just hint at it, and they go crazy.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
So one of my favorite things about him, he's got like these great perky ears that stand upright, but they also flap over. And it just makes him so adorable.
Wow. Yeah, he's a really great looking dog for sure. And I think that's one of the big benefits of shopping, so to speak, at a shelter, is that not only are you, changing somebody's life, like our friend here, but there's a lot of great animals, both great personalities and good looking too.
A lot of people like to think about the dog and what they're looking for, looking at their appearance. But it's more about matching those personalities and what your home life is like and how that's going to fit with the right dog.
Yeah, certainly. So he looks like he's ready to go out. So we won't take up any more of your time with you're gonna have to take him now. On a walk. I mean that's
right.
You take him outside.
He's earned it.
Yeah, certainly. Amanda Sublett with the
today,
Chautauqua County.
This afternoon, we're going.
Go ahead, Amanda. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I just wanted to let you know we're going to be at the mall this afternoon from 4 to 7. We are going to have Mooney with us if you guys want to come by and meet him. We'll also have another dog and a few cats.
All right. We'll certainly look forward to it. So again, Chautauqua Mall in Lakewood this afternoon. And of course, if you can't quite make it there, chqhumane.org is the best place to just fill out the application, get the process started, and maybe meet our friend Mooney. So Amanda, thank you so much. And thanks to Brian too, Unspoken Heroes behind the camera. Thank you both. And I look forward to next week.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. Want to take one more look here at the DoubleTree camera over downtown Jamestown. It looks like it's the sun's about to set, but Dakota says don't worry, those are just clouds. Sun setting much later in the day. Hopefully we'll see you down here socially distant for the parade tonight. Remember, it's in reverse, so all you got to do is go 3rd and Washington, drive your car starting at 6 o'clock. Have a great weekend.